Magandang araw po sa ating mga kaperlas sa buong mundo. Ngayon po, ang pag-usapan natin yun, bakit po ba nahirapan silang ma-impeach si VP Inday Sara? Unang-una po na rason, first time history in the Philippines na siya po ang isang taong nakakuha ng pinakamaraming boto sa Pilipinas. 32 million po ang mga taong nagmamahal sa kanya. At titingnan po natin na maraming mga vloggers, maraming mga tao na hindi binabayaran at sumusuporta sa kanya. Kasi nga, nakikita paano nagserbisyo si Inday Sara. At kahit sa mga history record ni Inday Sara, ang daming nagawang ang ganda ng record niya kahit nung naging mayor at vice mayor siya ng Davao. Ang dami niya pong nakuhang mga awards. Sa katunayan, naging isa siya sa pinakamagaling na mayor sa buong Pilipinas. Kaya nga pagdating dito na nagiging vice presidente siya natin, kahit sa limitado ng source niya ng financial, but nakuha niya pa ring matulungan halos ang mga tao kahit sa pinakasulok ng mundo na puntahan at natulungan niya at ang mga tao mismo ang saksi. Kaya itong mga kalaban na nasa politika, gusto mong i-put down, gusto nyong ang dami nyong plano, hindi nyo talaga basta-bastang ma-impeach itong si Inday Sara kasi maraming nagmamahal, voluntary yan po, mostly na sumusuporta kasi nakikita nila yung simpatiya, yung pagmamahal sa ating bayan na walang halong kurakot po. Pangalawa, dahil nga din sa isa po ay isang magaling, isa po ay isang abogado. At alam naman natin na yung history din ng tatay niya. So meron kasing nakikita nga. So ang isang basihan kasi niyan na may nakikita is yung Davao mismo. Kasi ang Davao yan yung kung sa Mindanao, yan yung pinakasentro ng Mindanao. At makikita natin diyan yan kasi nasa gitna. So maraming iba-ibang kultura, may mga Muslim pero nang dahil kay Pangulong Duterte, nagkaisa ang mga Mindanaoans, nagkaisa at nagiging mapayapa ang Mindanao. Kaya hindi po basta-basta talagang kahit sinong mag-aatake talagang nahihirapan. Sa tingnan nyo po, sa mga na-impeach na po sa ating bansa, tingnan nyo yung mga history ng iba ang dali lang nilang na-impeach. Oh. So ngayon, pang ilang na yung listahan doon na gustong i-impeach si Inday Sara? 4. Pero hanggang ngayon wala pa rin silang konkreto na ebidensya. At talagang napakagulo. Ngayon, minamadali nila na pa-impeach si Inday Sara. For what? Hindi naman po ang ini-impeach nila, hindi po barangay captain o kagawad ng barangay na impeach. So kinakailangan po yan ng tamang proseso. Kaya yun po, talagang nahihirapan sila. Ngayon, ang dami ng mga isyong tinapo nila kay Inday Sara na wala namang kinakailangan mong i-validate, patunayan yan na totoo talaga yan. Kasi kahit sino naman, pwede namang magsabi ng kahit anong masama tungkol sa'yo, pero kailangan mong i-prove yan. So yan ang nangyayari kay Inday Sara. Ang daming tinapon na mga basura sa kanya na yun nga, wala namang basihan. Kaya hanggang ngayon, talagang nahihirapan. Itong mga magagaling natin na abogado from Mindanao, nagkaisa. At nag-akyat sila sa Supreme Court para mapawalang bisa ang yung impeachment na hinaing nila for VP Sara. Kaya po mga kaperlas, mga kababayan, ganito po ang nangyayari ngayon. Yun yung problema natin sa Pilipinas, lalong-lalo na sa time nitong malapit ang eleksyon. So dito mo makikita itong mga taong, yung mga galawan nila. Pero tingnan nyo po, yung mga itong mga Duterte, no, family, titingnan po natin, kailanman hindi yan sila nag-ungunang mag-attack. Di ba? Hindi mo yan nakikita sila. Nagre-respond sila, of course. Pag ina-atake sila, nagre-respond. Pag nagre-respond sila ngayon, ni-twist nila yung papano. Kasi nasasaktan, na-twist nila yung papano nag-respond ang mga Duterte. Kasi ang galing. Mga abogado kasi. Hindi nyo basta-basta kayang i-put down. At ito'y nagustuhan ng karamihan ng mga kababayan natin, mga Pilipino, kasi may nakita nga. Kasi kung puro na lang tayo nito drawing, hanggang ngayon, drawing lang pa rin. So, ano pong mapatunayan ng mga taong bayan yan? Na hanggang ngayon, ang daming nilang mga plano, hanggang sa plano lang. Wala ni isang proyektong nagawa ng Pilipinas ngayon. Kaya ngayon, ang mga tao na mismo ang nakipaglaban para sa mga Duterte, lalong-lalo na kay Inday Sara. Hindi lang yan sa Pilipinas, buong mundo. Mga Pilipino, mga OFW, lahat na nasa ibang bansa ay nagkakaisa at suportado namin ang mga Duterte, lalong-lalo na si VP Sara. Kasi nakikita natin yung papaano siya magserbisyo ng ating bayan. At titingnan ho natin, kahit yung senaryo lang ng isang kaibigan niya, na yung may salita talaga siya. Bakit? Nung sinabi niya na gusto niyang samahan doon sa kulungan, di ba? Doon sa yung si attorney. Talagang sinamahan niya at hindi niya pinabayaan. Yun, makikita natin diyan na kung tayo'y nasa sakupan niya, talagang hindi yan nang iiwan. Kaya dyan pa lang makikita natin na isang magandang leader, halimbawa, na may gawa, na nakikita talaga na yung pagmamahal at tunay na leader para sa bansa. Kaya marami ang mga Pinoy na talagang lumalaban para kay VP Sara and will protect her. So ngayon, pakinggan natin itong video clip. Tingnan po natin, panoorin natin itong mga magagaling natin na abogado. Ito sila po yung nag-counter attack doon sa impeachment na hinaing kay VP Inday Sara. Pakinggan ho natin.
It's legal gymnastics now that we interposed by filing this petition. Instead, this is a legitimate attempt on the part of the people in order to stop a constitutionally void as well as defective, procedurally defective and jurisdictionally deficient impeachment complaint that was filed against VP Sara Duterte. No, we would like to emphasize that this is our individual move, collective efforts on the part of us individual petitioners, and VP Sara has nothing to do with this, and this is our move because
So, ibig sabihin po niyan, individual move, voluntary nilang ginawa yan. Hindi po alam yan, hindi sila binayaran, hindi nakipag-usap si Inday Sara sa kanila. Voluntarily na ginawa po ito ng mga abogado mismo. So dito po natin makikita kung mayroon pa bang ganun na mga tao yung kusang gumagawa dahil sa pagmamahal nila.
because we feel that the impeachment complaint really is defective based on three principal grounds. Number one, there were three impeachment complaints that were filed on December 2, December 4, as well as December 19 by different individuals. Well, you can say that they are mostly on the left, but the fact remains that there were three, impeachment complaints on December 2, 4, and 19. December 4 complaint was the second complaint. And the endorsement, it was filed by Attorney Nery Colmenares et al. And endorsed by Representative Franz Castro and two others. And why do I have to emphasize this? Because they're the ones now belittling our moves. And why is this important? This is important because if you base it under Article 11, Section 3, Paragraph 2, okay, you will realize that it is mandatory under the 1987 Constitution for the House of Representatives to act right away on any impeachment complaints and accordingly subject it to the order of business within 10 session days and refer it to the proper committee within 3 session days thereafter. Now, if you will likewise read Rule 2 of the, House of Representatives on impeachment, it is likewise clearly stated therein that upon receipt of the impeachment complaint, it should be referred to the Speaker by the Secretary General, and the Speaker is mandated by their own rules to have it set in the order of business within 10 session days from receipt, and the Speaker is mandated by their own rules to refer it to the Committee on Justice within 3 days. And what did they do? They never acted on the 3 complaints. And these were filed on December 2, 4, and 9. Never acted. They waited until February 5. No? On the last day of the third House session, third, and what did they do? They fast track. No? We can even characterize it, to borrow the words of Justice Corona, blitzkrieg fashion, the filing of the 4th impeachment complaint, and in just 3 hours, more or less, 215 congressmen allegedly read and verified the thick impeachment complaint that was the 4th one that was already filed. Which brings me to another ground, therefore. No? Why do we say that this is constitutionally defective? Why? Because Article 11, Section 3 mandates, in relation with the House Rules of Procedure on Impeachment, that the said complaint should have been referred in the order of business within 10 days and referred to the proper House committee, and in this case, Committee on Justice within 3 session days. They never did that. Why they did not do it? They did not do it in order that Francisco versus House of Representatives would not operate. And warning the impeachment of then Justice Davide. And in that case, the Supreme Court ruled that Article 11, Section 5, Paragraph 4, the 1-year bar rule, shall operate at the time when the impeachment complaint shall have been referred to the Committee on Justice. So if they referred the complaint, any of the 3, to the Committee on Justice, then the 1-year bar rule would have operated, and therefore the 4th complaint would have no basis at all. And that is very clear. And the mandate on the part of the House of Representatives to act on the first 3 complaints is not a matter of discretion. It should have been done. But they never did that. They dilly-dallied, and they waited for the 4th complaint at the last hour before they entertained, in a flash, in a blitzkrieg fashion, this 4th complaint. So if you will base it on Francisco versus House of Representatives, Gutierrez versus House of Representatives, the 4th complaint would have no legal basis anymore. Okay? Second point, the verification requirement. If you will read Article 11 of Section 3 of the 1987 Constitution, if they base it on Section 5, that if they have the one-third vote of the House of Representatives, please read it in the 1987 Constitution, that in case the verified complaint, so meaning before you talk about trial in the Senate forthwith, you must see to it that there was proper verification, because the law constitution requires in case of verified complaint. So we must determine therefore as to whether or not there was proper verification that was conducted in vis-a-vis the impeachment complaint as submitted and filed in the Senate. If you will look, this can already been revealed now.
Importante po yung verification. So ang sinabi nito ni attorney na bakit on the spot kayo nagpipirmahan mismo yung ibang mga kongresista, hindi nga nila alam, hindi nila nabas. Yung iba nga, ang daming, di ba? Hindi nila alam. So kung before kayo, ito yung problema ng mga Pinoy. Minsan nagpipirma na hindi binabasa lahat or ano yung may basihan. So ito yung sinasabi po ni attorney na before you sign itong mga kongresista, dapat you verified. I-verified po natin na kung ano ba talaga yung pipirmahan nyo to clarify na for the impeachment ni Inday Sara. Ito po yun. Paano nyo po malalaman yun? Yung hinaing na yung kung ano yung ikakaso nyo for impeachment ni Inday Sara, on the spot binigay nyo yung papel at pinapirma. So ito po yung ito yung ground bakit nagiging hindi siya qualified, na gusto nilang i-rebut nila na hindi yun qualified na pwedeng haing na kaso for laban sa impeachment ni Inday Sara.
If you will look at the impeachment complaint as filed in the Senate, there was even no proper verification.
So, ayun po mga kaperlas at ating mga mahal na kababayan at sa ating mga OFW. So, let's continue to pray and let's continue to magkaisa po tayo para sa ating bayan. At sana po ay magkaroon tayo ng matiwasay at sana po yung darating na eleksyon ay walang sana po okay lang ang lahat at ibubuto po natin yung mga leader na karapat-dapat na mag-lead sa ating bansa. So magandang araw po sa ating lahat. Mag-ingat po tayo lagi.